This is 7 National News and in our top story. His Highness Dr. Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, the Supreme Council member and ruler of Sharjah, has issued an Emiri decree to identify underprivileged segments through the Sharjah Census 2015. According to the Emirates news agency WAM, Decree number 16 for 2016 identified these segments as follows: as orphans, widowed, divorced and abandoned women, disabled people, elderly, illiterate people, those willing to resume their education and job seekers. The report added that the Court of Sharjah ruler will report any identified social emergency cases to the ruler and recommended proposed solutions. The Emirates government and semi-government social welfare institutions will be responsible for taking care of these segments, and according to the decree, all Sharjah government authorities will cooperate and coordinate their efforts to carry out their tasks. The UAE on Tuesday banned its citizens from travelling to Lebanon and said it was reducing the size of its diplomatic staff in the country. The announcement came shortly after Saudi Arabia urged its citizens to leave Lebanon immediately for their own safety. According to a statement published by Emirates news agency WAM, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation said it was upgrading the travel warning to Lebanon to a complete ban with effect from Tuesday. In Riyadh, the Foreign Ministry issued a statement calling on all citizens not to travel to Lebanon for their own safety and asking citizens residing in Lebanon or visiting not to stay unless extremely unnecessary. Saudi Arabia and other Arabian Gulf states had previously asked their citizens to avoid Lebanon in 2012 and 2013, with these travel warnings coming at a time when Lebanon was greatly destabilized by Syria's war. With Lebanon comparatively stable since late 2014, the latest travel advisories comes days after Saudi Arabia cancelled $4 billion in aid to Lebanon's security forces. Officials at the Dubai Health Authority have stated that a new data sharing scheme should help to cut health insurance fraud. The scheme will give medical professionals secure login credentials to access electronic health records, enabling the authority to track the source of breaches. According to health officials, it was essential to have in place a mechanism that monitored the claim process and was able to detect irregularities in suspicious cases. With the new system, each complaint of fraud is fully investigated and penalties can vary from a notice letter to a license being revoked or a facility being closed. By the 30th of June, all businesses with fewer than 100 employees, their spouses, dependents and domestic workers will join Dubai's compulsory health insurance scheme. In 2006, 8% of Abu Dhabi residents were insured by 950 healthcare professionals. Now, 98% of the population has insurance, and there are more than 1,250 healthcare providers. In 2013, Booz Allen Hamilton Consultancy estimated that the UAE was losing more than 3.67 billion dirhams to health insurance fraud. The UAE's official retirement age will be increased by 1 year at the end of February this year, in accordance with Federal Law No. 7 of 2007. The retirement age for UAE nationals, which was 48 years, will be raised by 1 additional year, making it 49 by the end of this month. According to local reports, in order to be eligible to receive their full pension benefit, Emirati employees must also have accrued at least 20 years' service prior to the date of their retirement. It was also noted that the official retirement age for UAE nationals is set to go up further next year, with a likely increase to the retirement age to 50 in 2017. This increase, according to officials, is consistent with the UAE government's stated intention to increase the number of Emiratis working in the private sector and also to reduce the population's dependency on the state by encouraging people to remain in work for longer. The retirement age for expats in the UAE is 60, although the Ministry of Labour does accept requests for work permits of individuals over the age of 60 years up to the age of 65 years. People posting pictures of others on social media networks without their permission could be jailed for 6 months and fined up to 500,000 dirhams under the UAE's IT law. According to local reports, at the launch of their latest social media awareness campaign, senior members of Dubai Police stated that many social media users are not aware of this law, and they often post images for fun without knowing they can be prosecuted. The crime can involve a jail term of 6 months and a fine of 150,000 to 500,000 dirhams. Another officer warned parents against allowing children to have their own social media account, as they could be victims of blackmail and other threats. Police added that many countries enforce certain protocols curbing the use of social media by children until they reach a specific age in order to protect them from possible threats. And the UAE has been ranked first regionally and third and fourth globally in implementing positive play habits among children, with varying age groups, as experts revealed details of the fourth edition of Fun City Children's Play Index, including research data from many developed nations such as the UK and Australia for the first time. Unveiling their global index results at a press briefing in Dubai, officials revealed that physical play, social play and creative activities are on the rise in the UAE, and the positive ranking for the country reflects the efforts taken by the government in spreading nationwide awareness about the importance of play for children's overall development, while adding that children's physical play time has doubled from last year's percentage in the GCC region. The index shows that on a typical day, children have an average of 7 hours of free time on hand out of over 12 hours of awake time. Creative activities have seen a percentage increase of 3.7 to 7.7, while social enhancement activities have also witnessed a rise from 2 to 8.5%. The survey shows that the usage of social media in the GCC are at par with children in global countries, with figures suggesting that 80% of children in the age group of 2 to 5 use tablets in the GCC as compared to 70% globally, while 68% of children in the 6 to 8 bracket use laptops as compared to 60% globally.
The increase in physical activity play as compared to the previous years is probably the outstanding data for me, and quite astonishing. But I can believe that, which makes it even more remarkable. And everybody, the parents, the government, but even us as a business, we put a lot of emphasis on physical and cognitive play, and it works. So whatever everybody's doing has a profound impact on the behavior of children.
The emphasis is really on developing the whole person, right? So of course it's important to be developing the academic child. It's also quite important to make sure that we have a range of activities that we're engaged with, that we do get physical playtime, that we're learning to cooperate and interact with other individuals. So what the index is geared towards is measuring those types of behaviors. So getting out of the academic context, getting out of other development contexts, and really looking at how are we utilizing the time that we, as aunts and uncles and parents, have to influence the development of the children. How are we actually using that time? And happily what we see is actually the UAE is quite well placed.
The Global Children's Play Index involved an interview of a total of 2,235 parents of children of varying age groups across many regional and international countries. The survey also shows that over 40% of mothers feel that they know what kind of games their children are playing, and 39% limit the time their children spends on digital devices. The Fun City initiative is a first-of-its-kind campaign, and the research was based on in-depth interviews with 9 experts, including psychologists and school counselors.
I think it's really important to have child-led play, which basically means more unstructured play activity where you're engaging with your child and letting them lead you through the play, Because children also very often are so used to always being told what to do. It's really nice for them to exercise their own sort of will and imagination, and you take the, backseat. Not only that, clean time, meaning clean from all technology and intrusion. So if you can manage to come up perhaps with some rituals that your family observes, certain times that you might be half an hour, 1 hour, but build it like a regular activity in your lifestyle. I think those are things that really help to sort of really give focused attention to your child and really engage with them, like be present with them.
We came from the UK where my son was very active. Didn't matter if it rained, the dirtier the better for football, rugby. So we came here and it was trying to get him back into that because it's hot. The climate's so different, but to try and channel him back. So he did football, he did rugby. And here I think things are changing a lot now from when my kids were younger and we first came. There's a lot more for them to do. But yeah, we used to take him out quite a bit. We used to take him to the park. Maybe the timings were different, whereas UK you would go any time of day, didn't matter. Here things were either morning or late afternoon when the weather was hotter. But you had to make an effort.
And finally, in the bulletin, Cricket Festival in the UAE has finally come to an end with a spectacular finish to the Pakistan Super League, with Islamabad winning the inaugural edition of the country's franchise tournament. 175 runs seemed too easy for Misbah's Islamabad United, who beat Quetta Gladiators comprehensively in the final clash at the Dubai Cricket Stadium. Over 25,000 people had packed the stadium to watch the final clash between the two teams that showcased the most consistent cricketing action in the tournament. It was pretty much the Brad Haddin and Dwayne Smith show, with their quick-fire 85-run second-wicket stand, that put Islamabad in a commanding position to eventually win the final match. It was a disappointing finish for Team Quetta, who were on top of the table for a large part of the league, and things didn't go their way towards the end. Speaking after the game, Quetta's captain, Sarfaraz Ahmad, stated that they were outplayed in all departments and a few dropped catches had cost them the game. While Islamabad captain Misbah ul Haq stated that the entire tournament has been quite useful in scouting future talent.
It's already, you can see a lot of youngsters coming through, and obviously it's good for the experienced players also, because you're getting more exposure, you're getting more chances to just enhance your skills and handle the pressure. That's the key. That's what IPL did for India. That's what BPL did for Bangladesh Premier League. So I can clearly see that is going to really help Pakistan cricket, especially limited over cricket, a long way, because experience, exposure, handling the pressure, these are the key to perform in international cricket.
I'm proud of my team, who did put up a good fight today, and I think 175 runs was defendable, though around 15 runs more would have changed the game slightly. I think we did miss out on a few opportunities with a few dropped catched, but overall Islamabad United ended up being too strong for us. I am really impressed with the effort put in by my team throughout this tournament.
Pakistan's Super League had been the talk of the town among many Pakistani expatriates since the event started in the UAE on the 4th of February. A total of 24 games had kept the fans on their feet throughout the event, which drew a capacity crowd, including the political elite, to the final clash on Tuesday evening. For the fans, it was catching their favourite players in action, while for the officials, it was to strengthen and prepare the side for international tournaments.
I think it's been astonishingly successful that they've managed to put something like this together. It gives a soft and positive image of Pakistan, gets us all to get excited about something that's not politics, and all of us to unite around a cause. So I think it's been a great success.
I think it has been an awesome event. The response we have seen over here in Dubai has been great. We had tickets sold out in the last 2-3 games as well as today. I think Dubai has been a very good host for PSL itself, and Pakistan would be more than happy to be hosting more events over here again in the near future.
It's been an amazing experience for all of us, for the supporters, and it's been very good that you have arranged here in Dubai. And I personally am supporting cricket, especially Pakistan cricket. The new talent is coming in, and we are loving it.
It's been very hard work. It's been a team effort. Everybody's thrown their shoulder to it, We've burnt the midnight oil, and it's up to our expectations and beyond that. And I cannot tell you how wonderful the feeling is that we have arrived. The landscape of Pakistan cricket is going to change after this. The private sector is here, money is going to come in, competition is going to take place. Youngsters are going to be motivated. We're going to play with the finest, the best and the brightest. It's going to be wonderful.